While I may have suffered a personal setback last night, I couldn't be more optimistic about the future of this country. I'm honored that I've had the privilege to serve and represent the people of Virginia's 7th District. Now, while I intend to serve out my term as a member of Congress from the 7th District of Virginia, effective July 31st, I will be stepping down as Majority Leader.
And for those of you who may have a short memory, that was indeed Eric Cantor, once without question one of the most powerful men in the United States Congress. As the Republican Majority Leader, it was only a matter of time until he was bound to ascend to the third most powerful position in government, that being Speaker of the House. But that was before he ran into our two guest panelists today, Gray Delaney and Zach Worrell. Guys did a number on him, didn't you? So, well, you can respond to that.
Actually. Oh, well, no, it wasn't us.
That was a question. It wasn't a definitive statement.
It wasn't us here. It was really a movement of highly motivated, highly trained, highly active activists who took it upon themselves to take government back into their own hands.
Well, as the campaign managers, as they were for David Bratt, an unknown professor from a small Virginia college who identified with the Tea Party and had what appeared to be no chance whatsoever to dethrone the long-serving Congressman Cantor, Delaney and Worrell did the impossible. They won what was, by all accounts, a completely unwinnable election. How they did it is chronicled in their new book, How to Bag a RINO. Guys, let's set the stage for everyone. As I recall, the night before the election, the polls showed that Cantor would win this race by, what was it, 36%?
34 points.
Yeah. 34 points.
But we had pretty good knowledge that they knew that it was a lot closer than they thought. I mean, Cantor sent out 17 mail pieces, spent over $2 million, outspent us 40-1. And so they were clearly not taking us lightly. And they started with this liberal professor line from February on. And so they knew that Dave Bratt was a threat. We knew that Eric Cantor had very high unfavorables. And so what we did is we expanded the base. We knocked on doors of anyone that was a high propensity voter, meaning they vote in most elections. And we knew people were upset with Washington. And we said, hey, your congressman's corrupt. We got to throw him out.
Was that the pitch, guys? You would knock on doors and say, your congressman is corrupt.
Yeah, we
Not
just say
quite as jarring.
what was the pitch, though? How did you get people to come around?
Well, Eric Cantor gave us a huge favor in that he gave Dave Bratt very high name ID, and so people were kind of like,
how did he do that?
Well, he started spending millions of dollars on a slanderous, campaign of lies, and it came back to bite him. You think it would be better to ignore
him altogether?
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Right? When it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
When he sent out that first letter in January that had the liberal college professor line, I was told by my mentor, he said, "You've just been given the greatest gift in your political career," because people wanted to know more. And then when you hear Dave Bratt, who's a very hardcore fiscal conservative especially, talking about, $127 trillion in unfunded liabilities that needs to be reformed, does that sound like a liberal? No. And so what people realized was their congressman was lying. And if he's lying to you about a conservative and who is a conservative, what else would he lie about?
Yeah, never punch down, right?
And so the biggest thing is everyone needs to check out the STOCK Act, Stop Trading on Congressional Knowledge. Eric Cantor changed the language of the bill to allow family members and their spouses to continue inside trading on congressional knowledge. CNN confronted him, he denied it, they went back to him, and he goes, oh, we inadvertently put that in the bill. So if you're getting away, if you're
playing, it was a mistake.
Yeah, so if you're playing by a different set of rules than the American people, get out. So his net worth went from $1 million in 2000 to $40 million in 2014. Is your portfolio doing that well?
Well, I got to ask you, so you guys put this unknown professor into office. He is today a member of the United States Congress. He's been there since January. How's he doing as a congressman?
Probably one of the best ones there is in the House, and I mean that in all sincerity, because he put forward 10 principles for the next speaker that are just common sense, 5 on policy, 5 on process. If you read what Dave has had to say, then you know that he's very serious about getting a good process speaker in the House. And that's sort of why the Freedom Caucus went with Webster, because he had shown that in the past.
Well, the biggest reason that he's done an excellent job is because he stayed true to his principles and what his promises were.
Imagine that.
So he ran on being a very strong free market conservative congressman, and he's been that way in Congress. And he voted against Boehner.
Gray, did he? Yeah. You had actually interned at one point for Cantor.
Yeah, I saw how bad it was. He didn't come by and shake on.
What did you see that told you how bad it was?
Well, I just saw a blatant disregard for the constituents. We were told to lie on the phone. just to get them off the phone. Then we'd send him a nice little form letter. And he didn't come by and shake our hands once the entire 6 weeks we were all working for him. So it's just this arrogance in Washington that's permeated on both sides.
It wasn't just him, was it? You probably talked to other people who were working in the House and said the same thing.
Oh yeah, it's just a giant game up there. It's everyone.
They just
it's all
don't care, do they?
It's all incestuous, and
There was one political operative in Virginia angry enough to take on Cantor, and there was one stupid enough, and you see how it all turned out.
So, guys, is this your career now? You are now political consultants?
no, don't like to use the term consultant.
They're TV pundits, Rick.
They're not. They
We're the
actually
anti-consultants.
they actually have honest jobs to make a living. Once again, the book is called How to Bag a Rhino. Read it. I think you'll enjoy it. It was probably one of the most startling primary races in our history. Good to know more about it. Coming back, viewer comments. Stay with us.